Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. As you can tell, we have a little bit of a different sound quality going on. Just trying out a mic, seeing if you guys will like this. If you guys don't, just let me know. But just want to test out some other quality for this video. So just experimenting a little bit as it's been for a while on this channel. So. Um, Also, I literally woke up, so I feel as appropriate as anything. Um, I feel like using a mic would help because I don't want to be, talking super loudly and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys can hear me. So, um, but we have got to talk about uh, this bullshit because we've talked about it before on this channel. So this is not I'm not going to be saying anything new, but I will be adding more context to my previous opinion. Now that we're looking like we're going to be entering the actor strike, because contracts with SAG apparently have fell through. Um, the studios are not budging, and it looks like the actor strike is going to happen alongside the writer strike. Um, So you guys know at this point how I feel about the writer's strike. I think that it's stupid. I think that people are just being completely selfish. If you sign a contract, you get what you get. It's plain and simple. Okay, and I say the same thing for the actor strike as well. Um, but I'm gonna add a little more context to my previous statement um, because I just realized another thing because. Um, Actors and writers are expecting these big studios to, to give them more money and to help them more financially. Which, by the way, just to reiterate again, actors and writers, this is your fault. Okay, you chose to go into an industry that is not financially stable. You knew that, or if you did know that, you're just willfully ignorant. Okay, because I know people in this industry who would have to who would have try to get jobs literally 6 months at a time. They wouldn't have a job for 6 months, and they have a wife, they have kids, they have a house. Does that sound financially stable to you? Hell no, it doesn't. What it sounds like is gigs. It sounds like, oh, a little side hustle, but your main source of income? Absolutely not. So, um, and it sounds like to me a lot of these writers and actors are wanting that kind of thing. They want that kind of compensation. They want that type of preferential treatment because that's what this is. Because they hadn't earned that money. They haven't um, presented, a claim or whatever like that, evidence that suggests that they should be given more money. No. Okay, they agreed to a certain contract. They agreed to a certain amount, so they are owed only that certain amount, and the gigs that you get from it or whatever like that, those are those are separate. So you get whatever you get there, whatever like that. Um, but you know what I mean, like whatever you get in terms of payment in whatever system it is with the union or production or whatever like that, don't bitch and complain. Okay, you get what you get. Okay, because you signed the contracts and you signed it and you vocalized. So don't complain. Okay. Now, um, to add more context to what I've said previously, the studios right now cannot afford to extend these contracts. And that is why the studios are saying no. Because let it be known that if the studios had the money, they would say yes. Obviously, they would, because, well, we live in a time right now where diversity and all these other things are being flagged up. So obviously, studios would follow suit because they don't want to be canceled and all that sort of shit, or to be put in a situation like this where they're seen as the enemies. They absolutely would. Um, but they literally can't because 2023 um, has been a pretty rough year in terms of movies. I mean, look at The Flash. The Flash literally just lost like what $200 million from Warner Brothers. Indiana Jones, almost the same thing for Disney. Um, Studios right now can't afford to push more money, towards these contracts and all that sort of stuff. So that's why they have to deny it. They're not denying it because they just don't want to. They're denying it because they can't afford it. They simply cannot afford it. And, I think people are just kind of being ignorant on that front. They think that, oh, the studios are just doing this because of this and that, and that's why they're doing it. And it's like, that's not why they're doing this. They're doing this because they literally can't afford you. They can't afford it. And even if the studios are saying no because they are saying no, I mean, they're not wrong. They are allowed to say no because they have a really good reason to do so, because you signed the contract. You already signed your contract. You have already agreed to certain terms. They don't owe you more money, okay? They don't. They do not owe you more money, especially when you've made it known that you've agreed to a certain amount. So, it's a lot of ignorance, it's a lot of narcissism, it's a lot of selfishness running rampant with these strikes. They're even fighting each other. I've heard writers fighting each other on this strike. I'm pretty sure actors will be fighting each other on this strike. If you guys want money, be producers. I have said that time and time again. I know that I just talked to someone online. They were just like, well, you can't become a producer. I'm like, well, you should have thought of becoming a producer at the start. Again, jobs like these are not financially secure. They're not financially stable. So when you put yourself in that place or put yourself in that position, I don't have much sympathy for you. You knew what was you either knew or you were super ignorant to your profession. Because the reality is the entertainment industry is a very shaky, financial, income. Sometimes you'll make a lot of money, and then a lot of your time you're not making bank. You're not even making a dime. 6 months at a time at some cases. So, and that's just how it is. That is just how it is. That is not a fault of the system. That is not a fault of the unions. That is a fault of you. That is a fault of the person in said profession. You chose to live this life. Welcome to the life, you know what I mean? So, so don't complain, Go actually look for better work. Become a producer. I've said this before in another video about the actors. Is it any shock that actors are also producers? No, because it gives them two kinds of power. One, more creative control, and two, more money, okay? When you have a production company or you are literally a producer on a film, you are making more money than anybody else on a set, okay? You are. And you're also the one putting forth money onto the set, and with that, you are one of the most, if not the most valuable asset on a set. Because people don't like to hear that. People don't like to hear that producers are, the most powerful and stuff like that. They are. They are, because they're the ones putting up the money, and also they're the ones making a certain amount of money as a result. So, yeah, like actors and writers, y'all are disposable. I've said that before, time and time again. You guys are disposable. The producers, not really. They don't get rotated out. They once they put the money forth and all that sort of stuff, they're pretty much set on that project. Not you guys. You guys, they can rotate you out if they want to. So do what Brad Pitt does. He literally produces a ton of fucking movies, including the ones that he stars in. I'm pretty sure that dude has a lot of say on what the movie can do because he's putting up the money, and I'm pretty sure he's also making a lot of money. So, you know. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's not a fault of anybody else but yours. So to stop blaming the studios, stop blaming the unions. That is on you, okay? And then to go on strike, it is completely and utterly ignorant and completely selfish, okay? There's no grand, idea or big purpose for this. No, it's all just selfishness, greed. It's just people wanting more money. That's just what it boils down to at the end of the day. Because they have realized what kind of profession they are in. They're in a profession that is not financially secure, and they want it to be financially secure. You don't get to change the rules. You don't get to change how things are, okay? Because you are unhappy with your current situation. That's not how that works, okay? There's a reality to everything, and you have now witnessed said reality. You have now been engulfed into what your reality is, and now you want to change it because you're unhappy. You want to still live out your fantasy in some regards. No, you need to understand the position that you're in life. So, in a way, I'm glad that studios are saying no. They're saying no, obviously, because they can't afford it, but I'm glad that they're saying no because this is not something that needs to be, occurring, Like, I just heard that studios are suggesting that they will just let writers go broke. I'm like, yeah, dude, like, this is not their problem. This is a client. Like, this is their problem. You deal with your own problems. We already are dealing with our own problems as is. There's no need to extend all our contracts or to do all this sort of stuff because at the end of the day, you chose to make that money. It just falls back to that same point. So it's like, I have little room for sympathy for these people because they're the ones who put themselves there. They played themselves, just like Hollywood played themselves this year. Writers and actors have played themselves, and it's like, you know. And let's be real, even when they make these changes, because they will, even when they eventually come around, these unions make these contracts and all that sort of stuff, it's only temporary. A few years down the line, some narcissist is going to want more money, and then we're going to start up all this bullshit again. So it's going to be an endless cycle of selfishness, okay? Because we are in an industry of narcissists. These people are going to eventually want more money. They're eventually going to feel less important, even though that is how the system operates, okay? And then we're going to be back here again. We're doing another strike, we want better wages, we want this and that. Even though we ourselves know that this industry is not financially secure, or we're so fucking stupid that we didn't realize that in the first place. Like, I don't, I don't know. Like, it's a bit ridiculous to me, how, it's a bit ridiculous to me how these strikes are forming, why these strikes exist. It's just a bit ridiculous to me, and I just don't agree with it. I don't agree that people are owed more money. You are owed what you signed for. That's how I view it. And don't complain. Don't complain to anybody else but yourself, because ultimately you're the one who chose to make that kind of money in the first place. Because you could say no. You could still say no. And you know what I mean? But no, you chose to make that kind of money. So don't complain when that kind of money cannot afford to pay off a house, cannot afford to pay off insurance, cannot afford to feed your children. Like, that's not anyone's fault but yours. And to an extent, the studios know that. So that's why, in some respects, they're saying no. But we all know the real reason. The real reason is because they're losing tons of money. And they're not making as much money as they usually would. So they cannot literally afford to extend contracts. Or to make contracts more prettier and more satisfying for all these actors and writers. So yeah. So that's my thoughts on the strikes. I think that they're both pretty stupid. And we know the outcomes. The unions will eventually fold, and they will, or eventually they will have money available to, do this sort of thing. But yeah, it's just an endless cycle of selfishness and greed. So, but those are my thoughts on the strikes, particularly the actor strike, which is evident or seems to be happening. You guys know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you guys agree with the strike? I just don't see where. I just don't see the sense in it. But you guys, let me know your thoughts on it. Yeah, that's gonna be it for me, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoy the new mic quality. And let me know your thoughts about the mic and all that stuff in the comment section below. And that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I'm going to go get some breakfast now. So, yeah. This is all pretty stupid to me. But thank you guys for tuning in. And I will catch you guys in the next video.